So the other day on the handball court, I did a video describing a deep depression I went into in the morning, and then driving and having a realization of the origin of that depression. So I'm going to explain that now. I've written about it. I still have some work to do getting it out there, but I'll do a quick video and I'll read what I've written. As I was driving to the handball court, I was able to take a look at the problem that is troubling me and causing my depression. This was a realization that the problems I see in society are connected to a state of mind. When I look at nature, I see balance. Things function in concordance with each other. Equanimity is the driving force of synchronicity in nature, and humanity is out of balance. I came to this conclusion within myself because it had been troubling me and I couldn't pinpoint it. Our minds are set on overdrive. We chase after things that destroy nature and cause us to fall deeper and deeper into sickness and disparity. I recognize that mental and natural health is built out of equanimity and having a mind state that sees all things as equal. We are not separate from anything else in nature, down to the simple atomic processes that form every vision and experience in our mind. When we think things are different, that things are good or bad, that we are better than others, more powerful than other creatures, when we hate, are greedy, and constantly chase after having more and more things to make us feel good, yet we're not happy with what we have, we set in motion an imbalance that spreads out like wildfire, corrupting the very environment where we exist. Humanity is dancing on thin ice. Nature is paramount and keen at restoring balance. It is not man against nature. We are nature. And at any given point, the natural resetting of balance could come from outside of us, or it could come from within us. Who knows when it will happen, but the natural scales of this planet will shift towards equilibrium when things get out of whack. I guess the choices are either humanity as a whole takes up a mind of equanimity and works towards balance with nature, or nature just naturally evens the scales herself. So that was the message. The message that stability in health and life is to develop a mindset of equanimity. And I perceive this in myself. I'm a creature of modern society, and I've experienced many, advancements and setbacks through traversing this modern terrain that we call life. And living close to nature, I've been learning kind of a new way to exist and to look at myself and experience life. And I found it very peaceful. My profession is behavioral health. What is behavioral health? I'm homeless right now. I'm living homeless, and I live in a tent, and I'm happy. So, as far as my behavioral health, I feel pretty healthy. People always tell me all the time, well, you're homeless, you look healthy. Well, I don't use substances. I don't take medications. I don't need a plethora of pills to feel good to get through the day. So, my happiness is really dependent on myself and how I experience things and how I choose to view things. And I've learned about equanimity in the past. It's a big Buddhist principle, but I actually was able to understand it and see the importance of it. So that's the message. Our emotions will always shift and change and have ups and downs. And I think at the core of our experience, especially with emotion, there's lessons to be learned. If we continue to blind ourselves and try to medicate or run away from these feelings and emotions without addressing them, then the problem's just going to exacerbate, because it never goes away. It's part of us. Understanding who we are and dealing with the emotions and things inside of us, it's a natural part of ourselves. And that's what I came to the conclusion of. Doing this project, I want to be healthy. I want to be able to learn and grow and document properly from my perspective. And many people have said, like, oh, like, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to be penniless and you got to suffer. And like, no, I'm not going to do that, because that's not a healthy way to live. Do some people that live in the streets and are homeless, do they experience that? Yes. Might I at some point get to that situation or that state? Perhaps. And if I do, I'm going to try to balance it out. So this idea of finding balance in our lives and balance with nature has become a pivotal part of my thinking now. And I guess what I learned from that, I can share with others. And the ultimate goal of Homeless 366 is to learn and bring knowledge and wisdom to people so that they can live healthier lives. I do not want people to suffer. I don't think anybody else wants people to suffer. It's not a matter of cruelty. It's just a matter of ignorance and not understanding. So that is the mission. And once I get through this winter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a document, a plan, a guide for people to live comfortably in nature in Massachusetts, where there are resources for people, social service resources, to live comfortably for $1,000 a year. Outside, I cannot depend on the system to take care of people, because what I keep finding is, some people make it, some people have horrible experiences, and just the fact that they kick people out into the cold when the cap reaches at the shelter, like, that's, no, you can't trust or depend the government or a society. I'm starting to learn that. And there's people that just, they don't have, for whatever reason, they're not able to fit into the mold. They just don't work as cogs in this economic machine we have. And to throw people away is one of the most disgusting things I can imagine. We take better care of our dogs and cats than we do some people out here. And that's mind-blowing to me. And it's not acceptable. So me being homeless is the way I'm going to do it. And I'm going to learn. And I'm going to try to bring some light into this world. To do this, I have to find balance within myself, with nature, and with society. So to do that, I must humble myself too. And sometimes I want to yell and get angry with some of the things I see, but ultimately learning and growing and sharing that with the world to help others is the way to go. And there's obviously things inside myself that I need to work on, like everybody else. So just keep doing that. And I appreciate everybody for watching and listening. And I hope to bring more from this project, more knowledge and wisdom and more balance for us as a whole, because we are nature.